such a beautiful smile. I'm held captive by your vision. Your lips been moving for a while. Sorry, wasn't paying much attention, but hold up, let me get my focus. Sorry, did you say something to me? Hold up, girl, you're talking too fast. Sorry, did you say something to me? You're so fancy, so glad you crossed my path. And if I can't have you, no, girl, I don't wanna picture that. Tell me, why would I just let you cross my way? And I tell you, I would like to be more. But for now, what you talking about? What you wanna know? Tell me what you wanna know. I'm listening. Tell me what you wanna know. I'm listening to what you say. Tell me what you wanna know. Tell me what you wanna know. Getting my focus up. Tell me what you wanna know. Tell me what you wanna know. Say. Tell me what you wanna know. Girl, you're talking too fast. Tell me what you wanna know. Say something. Say something. Say. She said, "Excuse me, mister. Can I ask you a question? Looking at you, girl, I hope I can provide the answer. With such a beautiful smile, I'm held captive by your vision. Your lips been moving for a while. Sorry, wasn't paying much attention, but hold up, let me get my focus. Sorry, did you say something to me? Hold up, girl, you're talking too fast. Sorry, did you say something to me? You're so fancy, so glad you crossed my path. And if I can't have you, no, girl, I don't wanna picture that. Tell me, why would I just let you cross my way? And I tell you, I would like to be more.
My bad.
Now what you talking about?
I'm about to bring this in. Watch.
Ooh.
Bam. And we in there. Cool.
That's tight.
Yo, all right. So we got all the cameras set up. I think we good. It looks good over here. Yeah, we're looking good. You feeling good, Joey?
I'm feeling great.
Awesome. What up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to our little live stream that we got going on here on how to shoot a music video from home. My name's Royce. I'm a independent filmmaker, writer, director, producer. I do stuff for...
Great dad.
Great dad. Trying to be a great dad every single day, working at it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're
welcome. But yeah, I shoot music videos, obviously. Do short films. You know, that's always the goal. Everything I try to think of from a filmmaker's perspective. But I also do promo videos for companies, for social media. You know, all that stuff. Whatever needs a video camera, I do. I shoot. I hit the record button. But yeah, so we're gonna recreate this music video that we shot that, you know, you guys saw at the very beginning. It's called Say Something by Joey Diggs Jr.
Wouldn't have had a video if, of course, the man behind the camera didn't like say, "Hey, man, I think it's time for a music video from you." I said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I pretty much strong-armed you.
Yeah, I was like, are you sure?
Into doing it.
Am I ready? Nah, man, it turned out heat. And as you guys can see, we're back.
We're back. So right now, we're actually in my garage. And you know, I'll give you a little breakdown kind of how it all happened. Well, first, actually, let me show you. Let me show you what we got working here. Let me remove one of these cameras. So Bam here. I mean, you can see in that camera too, but I'll show in this one. So we got this like black backdrop, you know, and we got some lights set up. We're gonna turn them on in a second. And then over here, we've got our main camera. Excuse the mess in the background. Got a monitor there, all that good stuff.
Production.
And pretty much how it went is that Joey here is fire. Everything he touches is gold, pretty much. And so I approached him and pretty much was like, yo, man, so we need to do something. We need to do something. We need to shoot a music video, something to make some greatness. And what did you do? You sent me like
I sent you one song first, and then you told me your idea, and I was
Yes,
like,
yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
actually, this song right here.
Right, because like, so kind of like this whole backdrop setup, as you saw, it's kind of like an empty black void with colored lights, and that's kind of like, so I wanted to do something like that, and I told him what I wanted to do. He sent me this first song, and the first song was great too. And then once I told him kind of like more in detail what I was trying to do, I showed him some references and stuff. He was like, oh, no.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna send you something else. So he sent me Say Something, and as soon as I heard it, like literally immediately, I was like, yo, okay,
Perfect.
this is it. And I'll just show you real quick. Fresh Brownie says, what up, Joey?
Oh, my boys, Brownie.
Hey.
Where's Hectic? Hectic and Brownie.
Let me pull this up real quick. So I kind of was scouring the internet of just some references of kind of like how to make this work. So here are some images that I kind of came across, and I was like, you know what? It'd be really dope if we did that, but in some type of music video fashion. So sent him that, and that's when he was like, all right, dope. So then we went from that to kind of like before the whole shooting, because for me, I used to be somebody who was like really quick to just get an idea and shoot. So I'm kind of like, I started to slow down in my process and really kind of pre-visualize everything. So what I did was I opened up this app, this Previs app that I use, where they use like 3D models and things like that. Why am I blanking on it? It's called, I don't know if it's called, it's not Shot Pro. It might be Shot Pro.
It's a Previs app.
It's a Previs app, yeah. So it had this 3D model, and I kind of just practiced some lighting on him and what I wanted the end visual to look like. So sent that to Joey, and I actually sent different color variations too. And Joey was like, okay, that.
I said, okay, this is different than what I even imagined. That's what you're doing tomorrow.
Right, exactly. So so we did that. And so then we kind of came back and we kind of talked a little bit about how we wanted to do it, and both of us, I think we kind of agreed we wanted to be simple, stress-free, because sometimes you kind of stress yourself out trying to go above and beyond when you don't even really need to. So that's where we really were like, especially in a pandemic, you don't want to like risk anything, just trying to like risk everything to get the shot. So
you need a crew.
Right, exactly. So we're like, all right, what can we do to accomplish this in a simple fashion? Things that like we already have, like we didn't have to like go and rent anything, which was great. And so we kind of agreed that like, all right, cool. I was like, hey, let's get tested, make sure we're negative, COVID safe, and then come to my garage and we'll set up these like black backdrops like I showed you. So I have 2 of them, and then the third one Joey actually brought. So it kind of gave us a little bit more room to work with. So that's kind of what we did. And again, kind of me slowing myself down. I was like, you can tell.
Hey, he had a crane out. He brought a mini crane. Day one on the pre-shoot day.
I brought a crane. Hold on, let me.
Where is it?
It's over here. Hold on.
This man brought the mini crane out. I said, what is this?
It's compact now. It's collapsed. But yeah, I brought this crane out. And we did some test footage and all that stuff. I was trying to set it up.
Super cool.
I was like, yo, man, this is going to be dope. And then Joe was like, yo, yeah, no, it's cool, man.
I thought it was cool. You said you didn't want to use it no more. I was like, hey, bro, what about that mini crane?
Well, because what we did is, kind of get to this next point is we did a test shoot, right? So old me would have had this idea. I would have told you about it. You'd been like, that's dope. Let's do it. I'd been like, all right, cool. Let's shoot tonight. And then we just would have went in. We would have shot. We would have been so hyped. Then I would have went to go edit it, and I would have been like, crap. I didn't shoot it right. I didn't light it right. Everything was off.
That wasn't what I was
going. I'd be like, yo, hey, Joey, so I kind of have to
do it again.
Can you come back? Can you get tested again and then come back? So we did a whole test shoot, and in that test shoot, I used that crane. But I'll show you This is kind of some of the footage from that test shoot.
You got the crane footage?
The crane, but that's the thing is like the movements of the crane, like you could barely see it. There's also some like lighting, some other like experimental lighting we didn't end up using for the final shoot, but it was actually really dope.
Can I ask you a question?
So you can see it looks pretty similar to kind of like the final images that we got. I think I went a little bit too overboard in the soul glow.
Nah, you did not. It's perfect.
Just a little bit, but you can see it was pretty close. But just from doing that from this test shoot, I realized certain lighting things I wanted to do differently. It wasn't as like clean and crisp as I would have liked. So if we just would have shot on this day with kind of the knowledge that we had at that point, I don't think it would have came out as good as it did.
So to all creators out there, preparation is important.
Very important. Preparation is very important. And so what I'm going to do is to kind of get this walkthrough going. Let me throw this up here. I'm going to throw up another angle so y'all can actually see the process. Where is it at? There we go. Bam. So I'm bringing that in. So now I'm actually bringing in at the bottom here. This is my Blackmagic camera, which is what I use to shoot the music video. So now we're actually seeing what the camera sees. So as we change lighting and things like that, you'll kind of get an idea of how all that looks in camera and how things were affected and how I changed stuff. So what I'll do to start off is first, I already showed you the black backdrop, so we already had that set up, and this was something, I mean, this is like, you can buy this for, how much was your black backdrop?
This can all be yours for a grand price of $70.
So yeah, it was about $70, something like that.
Probably all three would be like $70, like
Yeah, probably.
20 bucks.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't even need three. You could do this with one, and you don't even need a garage. So let me make that clear. You don't need a garage. You don't need this big of a space. You can accomplish the same look in your bedroom. Like if you just have like a hallway or something. If you just have black sheets that you already have at your house, you can just throw those up, and you can still do the same thing. So yeah, so this is something really cheap that you can get if you don't already have some black sheets at home. And then really the next thing is just making sure you have the right lighting. And how I approached this was, again, with those visual references, you want to know what you want to achieve before you go and do something. So if I would have just went in there and was like, hey, let's just figure it out, sure, we probably could have came up with something, but it probably wouldn't have came out as good. So we did the visual references, kind of just took it step by step by step until we honed in. So when it was time to shoot, we were like locked in. We knocked that out in like, what, like
Hour and a half, 2
hour
hours?
and a half,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
Smooth.
Because I mean, we just did a bunch of angles. And
Second
that was
day,
really,
we know what you wanted.
yeah, that took the longest. So really, that was the thing, getting the vision down. So whatever you do, no matter how simple or complex a shoot is, the first thing you want to do is you want to hone in your idea and know exactly what you want. So then, if it's something where you're collaborating with someone else, so like for me, collaborating with Joey in this instance, I'm able to properly communicate what I want to do. And then from doing that too, he threw out a bunch of ideas, and we was like, oh, well, what if we do this, this, and this? And then we were able to bounce off each other. Where if I just came in and was like, all right, so, I mean,
Do this.
maybe let's try this. Nah, that didn't work. Maybe do that. I think, let's just hit record.
That was cool. That was cool.
Let's just hit record, see what happens. So that's like the first thing I would say before going into any project is make sure you have a clear vision on what you want, and then properly prep to visualize that vision.
AKA, don't skip any steps, children.
Don't skip any steps. So we already got the black backdrop set up because I didn't want to waste time with you guys watching us do that. So we're going to jump into the next part, which is setting up the lighting, right? So we got that going. Joey brought his white jacket, so he's ready to go there. Wardrobe too. Don't skimp on wardrobe. A lot of people don't even think about that, but that plays a huge part. And especially since this being a shoot that we're working with color, we really wanted to have, that whiteness to kind of really soak it up and kind of give off, a really, really nice look.
Yeah, and all the colors and the lights popped off of this fire. I didn't know at the end. I was like,
and we contrasted that with the black underneath to kind of help, because I didn't want him to pop too much. I wanted really just the jacket and that melanin to really be what pops, you know. So that's what we went for. So
I got melanin.
got let me use this camera. Yeah, I'll use this one. So I'm gonna move this, and let's see, move that up like there.
And curls are important too, guys.
Curls are very important. Honestly, if we didn't have the curls, we couldn't do this shit.
We'd probably be. He'd be like, "Look, man, you ain't glowing enough for me, so I'm gonna just go get my wife."
All right. So
You know the song, right?
So what we have here, so this was a 3-light setup, right? So this one light, this is the most, I would say, for all indie budget filmmakers and all that stuff. This light here that we use, oh, thank you, man, I appreciate it.
Got your back, bro.
This is a Kino LED light, and this light's very expensive. It's a very expensive light. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have even bought this. This is a light that you rent, but you don't have to necessarily own it. If you can't own it, great, but you don't have to.
You should have told me that before I was walking around and stuff, bro. Dancing and doing spins.
Yo, no, it's
No, I just did a whole spin and almost clipped it.
Yo, man, I've clipped this thing so many times.
It's
So,
yours.
no,
You bought it.
But that's the thing, it's durable. So that's
Okay,
why,
okay.
part of why it's so expensive. But you know, if this thing knocks over, which it has, it'll be fine.
Okay.
So this right here, this was our one of our key lights, which I switched. Let me turn this on real quick. Hold on, this might affect the camera. And so what I did was we decided what we wanted, right? So we wanted that pinkish blue mix. So I wanted this to be my pink light. So what I did was, with these buttons, I clicked something, and then the color changed.
Oh.
If I could just remember which button did what. Let me see. Aha, there we go. You can't beat me, light. I'm better than you. And so what was this? The middle,
Yep.
What was this? Bright middle rose. That's what this color's called. Let's see. Light blue. Well, I think the color I technically used was a purple.
Yeah.
This thing got so many colors. Let me see.
Yeah, it's an incredible light.
I mean, there's a reason why it's expensive. Let me see. Nah, we're just gonna go back. Cause I don't want to be spending all day trying to figure out.
Yeah, we already in the next
All right, this is
color cycle.
right. I don't want to be spending all day on this, so I'm going to just do. Oh wait, was this it?
Yeah.
That was it. Hey.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh. We're gonna say that was the color.
That is.
No, I think this is it. Cool. So we have this set up, right? And to better demonstrate, actually, let me turn off the lights here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get dark. And I don't know if we'll be able to get as dark as we want, given that we still got some light outside.
Yeah, it's good. Good on
That's
camera.
good. Okay, cool. Let me just check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey. All right, cool. So you guys can watch on the Blackmagic camera as we change things. Cool. All right. So we have this first light here, our Kino light.
Pay attention, children.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted this to be a perfect split, 50-50, purple, pink, whatever, on one side and then blue on the other side. So kind of angled that to how I wanted. And if you're wondering what this white sheet is over the light, this is just a basic white cloth to use as some diffusion to soften that light there so it's not as harsh. And yeah, you can use a basic white cloth or white sheet or whatever to kind of accomplish that. It's really good if you don't want the light hitting your subject to be so harsh, and for it to kind of come off a little bit more natural. All right, let me just check. Oh, it actually doesn't look too bad on the phones. Looking pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks cool on this one too.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So now this next light, this will be our second light that we're going to use. This will be the blue. So I'm just going to turn this on here. And what I'm gonna have to do is, I'm gonna have to take out one of our cameras because I just realized
The
to
lights.
control it, well, I can use it using the on control buttons, but it's gonna be a little bit confusing. So I'm gonna take out one of our cameras so I can use the app. So let me set this up real quick. Bam, there we go. So now what you guys are seeing on the left is my iPhone 6s. You can see, yep, this one. Yep, and the one on the right, this is my Blackmagic camera that we got set up there. And then I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take my phone. I'll move over here so y'all can actually see what I'm doing. I'm gonna stand next to you. Hey, what's up, man?
Chilling, dog. Chilling.
That's cool. Where was the app? Sidious. All right, cool. So this next light, this is, get this in front. So this is the Aputure Accent B7C. I believe this light is, I got two of these lights. This light is amazing. It's
Wireless.
wireless. You can plug it up with power because that's how it charges, and it can run off that, so you don't have to worry about the batteries running out.
You guys.
It's like a bulb. This is literally like what you call it, hue lights.
You guys.
For filmmakers. So if you don't know about this light,
Iron Man.
get this light because it is a game changer. And this can change colors as well, just like with our Kino light. So I'm gonna switch this one to blue, and then we got one more that we're gonna use behind us, and I'm gonna turn that to red. So it's kind of like we get a reddish backlight that we used. So you can do all kinds of effects like this that we see here. Now, actually, I don't even know what you're doing.
I'm waiting for you to change it to blue.
So the app is loading, so you're probably gonna be there for a second. But what's cool too is like it doesn't get hot or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not hot at all.
LEDs, it's great. But
Wow.
yeah, these are $70. Aputure, APUTURE, aputure.com. Definitely check out those lights. They are amazing, and their output's actually really good. You can plant them anywhere, literally in a lamp.
It's not harsh either.
Nope, because it's got that base diffusion already on the light, which is cool.
How is it this bright but not bright? Like not harsh. That's pretty impressive.
You're just lost in it right now.
Like,
All right.
are you afraid of the dog? Are you afraid of the dog?
So right now, too, as you can see, since you took it out of this right here, so it's operating off a battery, which I believe works for about 2 hours. And then when you got it plugged in, it works forever. But
Okay. So I thought you was gonna say because I unplugged it.
oh no,
Got all jacked up.
No, it's just hold on, I gotta relaunch this. Why isn't it working? See, it's always something.
Okay.
Always something when you want to do it. Hold on, let me see.
I got this part. This is the intermission.
This is the intermission.
As you can see, I am Iron Man. I've been keeping my identity a secret for this whole time, and I just wanted to let you all know out there that I am here. I've whooped COVID's behind, and you know, it's not gonna attack anybody else. It's not gonna hurt any more families out there because I am Iron Man and I am here.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Well said. Well said.
Well said.
So
Next monologue.
This one back here is working, so I'm gonna set this one up.
Okay.
Well, I figured out the other one.
I'm gonna plug this one up just in case that's why.
Oh, got it. Okay. Because there are two settings where.
Oh, I pressed the button too. I don't know what.
Oh, you press the button?
Yeah, right now.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's another thing too.
Oh, it's
Again,
just the
while you
brightness.
prep, because you can have everything figured out. and
Still
then
go
when you
wrong.
actually want to shoot, things just fall apart. Like now.
And as you guys can see up above, well, you can't. I've tried so hard.
And I'll change the angle too so y'all can see this, but. Whoop.
They can see from this camera.
Another camera? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Dope.
Looks great on YouTube.
Nice. All right, so obviously I'm kind of going in blind, so I'll adjust as I go. This is
How about you want to move it over? Do you want me to guide you? Move it over to my left.
there we go.
My oh,
Yeah, because I had it like, yeah,
Gotcha.
I want it like this, something like that. And let's see. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. And I can adjust that a little bit. But yeah, because this thing doesn't want to sync.
You may turn it on and off.
Yeah, let's try that. This right here.
Oh.
Let's see.
Let me turn it on.
There we go. All right, that I think might have brought it back to life.
Wake me up. That was you posted that video of the rain? I mean, the
Yeah, it
hail?
was.
Evanescence? Yeah, that's my song, bro. That's my
Yeah,
jam.
man.
Wake me up. Can't wake up.
I know. After I shot it, I was like, "That's." I literally just pictured that song. So it was perfect. All right. This should be good. This should be good. Yeah, what do we got? What do we got? There we go. Okay. So, there we go. So, now we got blue. All right. So, and I fixed that up. It's gonna cross here. Okay. So now we can work on that split that I was looking for. Like so.
If you guys seen the music video, if you're paying attention to the Blackmagic camera, you'll recognize this scene. Paying much attention, but oh. Yeah, that was this way.
That was it.
That was this way with the blue light.
Yeah, definitely.
That was that blue light magic.
Blue light magic. I love it. All right, so Joey, actually, let me see you in the center.
Uh-huh.
Let me look through the camera here. Cool. Yeah, it looks like a good split. And obviously, it won't look as rich and saturated, all that stuff, because we're looking at this in
Pre-production.
camera, and unfortunately, the LUT I'm using right now isn't giving me the final look that I want. But obviously, all this stuff would be adjusted in post.
But there is glow.
There is glow. Well, is there glow?
Yes.
Is it your natural glow?
Yes.
Your natural glow?
Leroy!
So, yeah, so that's good. So this was kind of like our starting point, right? So I'll kind of break down where we're at now. So I got the lights going. I got the colors that I want. So now I'm looking at this and I'm like, all right, cool. We could start shooting and be good. But if you really notice the Blackmagic camera here, we're getting a lot of spill onto the black backdrop. And to get that like void, that endless void that we want, we just want to be careful with how we're lighting, because the more light we spill onto that black backdrop, the harder it's going to be to really kind of darken it in post and get that final look that we want. So in this step, I was kind of thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I should have brought, or I should have had something that can kind of block the light a little bit to kind of help shape it and point it in the direction that I want. And I didn't have anything, well, I thought I didn't have anything, but then I remembered I did have like this, like, what'd you call it, like sandpaper thing? So I did have something where I was like, you know what, let me just use this stuff to kind of help block, to block the light. So I'm gonna grab this right now.
Never limit yourself, people. There's always a way.
Always a way. So, hang on, let me show my camera since we lost that. The other camera. Actually, you know what? Let me bring that other camera back real quick.
Not the light.
While we're doing this. Bam. There's camera. And then I'm just gonna add that back to the mix. So we got all three. Cause yeah, I ain't changing the lights again. So we should be good. Got a comment, someone said Joey really wanted to have magical powers, ruined the trick. I know, I definitely ruined that trick for you, man. that was
Ruined
my
the
bad on
trick.
Oh, man.
I do have magical powers. How about that?
Alright, so now I'm setting this up here, bring everything back in.
Wake me up inside.
Bam. Alright, cool. So now I'm gonna move this back. So the camera back where
Save
it was.
me.
the vibes in here. It is definitely the vibes. Cool. All right. So now we got that camera back. So what I'm using is, what's like the technical name for this? Or the official name? I don't know. Just something that I had gotten on Amazon a while ago. It's supposed to be for Windows, but whatever. It's a solid blocker, is what I'm gonna call it. And what I did was I taped it to the side of my lights. So for my Keynote light, I did this like so, which you probably can't tell because I'm blocking, but let me try and move behind a little bit. Like this. And what I did was I literally just taped it onto the side to reduce that light a little bit more, so that flood wasn't as extreme. So I don't know if you can see that from here, that much of a difference, but it really helps in post to get that like final all black background look that we were going for. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape that here. Thank you, sir. You can also clip it too if you want, if you don't have tape. Take it like that. That works. Cool. And then you get out of here and try not to die. Perfect.
Move the light back.
So now I'm gonna do that to the blue light as well. So we can just kind of kill more of this spill, so to speak.
Kill that spill.
Let's see. I'll just use this.
It's backstage, back there.
And there's definitely a cleaner way to do this, for sure. But, you know.
But again,
sometimes you gotta work with what you got.
this is DIY music videos with Roro Beckley. And also, the Switcher app.
Yes. I will break that down as well because that is what's making this all possible.
Powered by.
Yeah, powered by. This would be a good time to break and talk about our sponsors. No, but seriously though. So,
Got you.
Thank you, sir. So if you're noticing kind of like all the angles we're doing, you're like, oh, that's really dope. How are they doing that?
Cross dissolves.
Cross dissolves, all that stuff, looking really dope and professional. I'm actually doing this through this app called Switcher Studio, which I'm running on my iPad right now. And let me tell you, like seriously, like this app is dope. Pretty much, it creates your own Switcher live stream studio. If you're somebody who has done live streaming in the past or doing it now currently, you know that you have to have like a lot of equipment, or even if you're a gamer and you're streaming, you do OBS or what have you, but all that stuff usually runs through your computer, your laptop, what have you. So Switcher Studio pretty much gives you that same power, but right on your iPad and on your phone. So right now, I'll show you. I'm running this whole show straight from my iPad as I clicked this out, as I moved it. Let me bring us back real quick. 1 second. There we go. Bam. So I'm running this whole show on my iPad. I'll bring it up here. And I got all my images, all that stuff, videos. You can bring in stills, all that stuff, and throw it in there live while you're recording like we've been doing. So when I threw up the music video, when I was throwing up those images before, it allows you to do that in a very easy and simple way, straight from your iPad. And the camera angles that you're seeing, I've linked my my main phone and my old 6S to the iPad, so they can pull the cameras from your phone into the iPad, so you can have a multi-cam shoot without having expensive cameras to kind of do it and all that stuff, and expensive switchers, like I was saying. So it's just a one-stop shop for you to get this big production type feel in your live streams, literally running on your iPad or running on your phone. And when you're doing it on your phone, it's actually really dope because it's you have all this power and you're running an entire show. You can run an entire show, live stream show from your phone, which is great. And we got our mic synced as well. So we're doing Samsung wireless lavalier mics that are running into the iPad as well. So if you want a more professional sound, you can also get that. So this is kind of what's allowing us to give this production value while we're live streaming in a very, very simple and easy way. And I'm even going a little bit above and beyond because I've even synced it with my computer, which is how we're seeing my Blackmagic camera. So we're getting that view. So we can actually plug in professional cameras if we want via a computer and sync that over to the iPad or your phone to get that more professional look if you want. But it's definitely not necessary. But for this instance, for shooting this music video, I definitely wanted to do it. So definitely shout out to Switcher Studio for helping make this happen. And if you guys want to check out this app, they gave me a promo code. So if you hit the link in the description and use the promo code Royce, you guys can get a month free and check it out for yourself.
How do you spell Royce?
Oh, you spell my name R-O-Y-C-E.
Okay, because I thought it was R-O-I-C.
Yeah, there we go. And that's how you do it.
Royce!
Yeah, and so that's why, so every time you kind of see me like lean over to the side here, that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of running the show while doing the show, which is pretty cool that it gives you the ability to do that in a very simple and easy way.
Effortless.
But back to our regular scheduled program.
And
So now that we've kind of added our little janky makeshift blockers to kind of help reduce the amount of light that's coming in.
Yeah, it worked way better already just in the screen.
Yeah, no, definitely. So now what we want to do is I'm actually going to go behind for a second and apply that to the red light too, because we're getting that spill back here. And hold on, let me just move this back just a little bit. So I'm going to grab some, and I'm just literally going to wrap it around that red light up there. Get my tape. And again, there's better ways to do this, but sometimes you just got to use what you got, and that's kind of what I wanted to show. I wanted just you guys to really see, you know, one, how it really went down for us.
Yeah.
And two, where it's like, don't worry if, you know, you don't always do things the professional way or how it should be done. You know, just use what you have, and you can still get the exact same look and accomplish the exact same style that you want. As long as you know, again, if you know what you want to accomplish, you can figure out how to make it happen with literally anything.
True. I've noticed that like 9 times out of 10, like the things that we see that we don't know how it was made, we project like this like grandiose
Right.
like thing on it, when in reality, and then it becomes unattainable. Oop,
Right.
you know, somewhat unattainable for us. But then in reality, it's like, dude, very attainable, very simple, very efficient.
Exactly. Did the thing fall?
I got it though. I fixed it. I fixed it. So yeah.
Right. No, exactly, because that's a very good point. Things you think were professionally made probably weren't.
It's just, but the skill, it's the profession now.
It's always about that end
know.
result.
You're the professional, you know. So it's like, even though your antics might not be to somebody what somebody would say a professional whatever, it's not about the antics more about than it is about the intention and why you're doing what you're doing and still getting that same effect. Exactly. You know, and then then it's like, okay, this looks professional. Yeah, because I'm professional.
Exactly. The gear I have may not be professional, but in my head.
Oh, your gear is professional, but I'm talking about like even like
Oh, no,
this,
yeah.
you know, I'm talking about like this papers. Like
no,
it's still the same effect, you know. It's like the intention of what
Right.
you know of that paper is doing the exact same job as.
Oh no, absolutely,
You
yeah.
know, a blocker.
You know, I'm just saying, like, for somebody out there, you know, who may not have
True.
quote unquote professional gear,
True.
you know, they don't have to, you know, their mindset could be like, I may not have the professional gear, but I have the professional eye to make it happen.
Like those little African kids
Right.
making that heat. I'm like, what?
Right, exactly.
This on a Nokia.
Oh, see?
Ah!
And that's how you hurt your talent.
And
All right,
for the
let's do it.
talent,
Let's do this again.
that's how you get paid.
Right, exactly. And then I come in with my papers. Hey, yeah, so, you know it was an accident, right? Like, you don't need to sue us.
It's an accident. Actually, I don't even know that word. I don't even know what that word means.
You know, and usually I want to kind of cut around like showing this stuff, but I feel it's important to see it, you know, because like for that same thing, it's like, for me, I feel like it's good when I see someone doing something, like showing the process, and like, even if things aren't working out the way that it should, I like that, because I'm like, oh, okay, cool, it's not just me. Like, this happens to everybody.
True.
I don't know, but that just might be me. People might be watching like, yo, get to the point. But I think this stuff is helpful, because it's important to see that like not everyone gets it right.
Mm-hmm. Or people have different ways about going about getting it right.
Right, exactly.
You know?
So when I said this was a walkthrough, I was not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally walking through it all. And pretty much everything that's happening now and all the mistakes are pretty much the same things that happened when we really shot. I would say, other than the light. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Right, now,
this app is hard.
no, yeah, I love it, man.
It looks great. It looks great on the like the 3 screens on one screen.
Dope. Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been using it for a couple of years.
What?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
app?
like low-key, this has been like my little secret gem. I didn't want anybody to know about it, but I was like, all right, I should probably tell. I should tell somebody because it's great. And what's cool is like we're recording at the same time, so you know, even though we're going to YouTube, like you can download your YouTube lives afterwards,
True.
but the quality usually is kind of trash.
Yeah, a little dumbed down.
Yeah. So what's cool is, you know, we're going live and simultaneously recording.
Oh, it's picking up that good quality.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And it's like going native to my iPad, so I can. That's not on you at all. I can upload or do whatever straight from the camera roll, like right after, which is great.
Boom.
All right. How does that look?
Better. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. Now we got it. Awesome. So yeah. Hopefully you guys were able to see that kind of happen live. Everything kind of the spill onto the black background of it kind of getting a little bit better, especially with the red light. I think we can really see a difference there, or else we would have had a whole bunch of spill, which during our test shoot
We did.
it did, and you could really tell when I was in post, like trying to like get that out was really hard.
And that's why you test shoot.
Yep, absolutely, always. So I'm just gonna tighten this up.
The raw quality of this Blackmagic is crazy too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I need to even check. I'm not even checking my let me get this.
Battery.
I'm not even checking my settings. I think I'm shooting 4K. When we actually shot the video, I think it was
8K.
No, I think we did 6K because I knew I wanted that like crispy crisp
Mm-hmm.
for YouTube anyway.
Also, if you guys want to look at the crispy crisp version of the Say Something video, check out the YouTube. It's crazy.
Yes.
Specifically, go to YouTube.
What's your YouTube channel?
Joey Diggs, just type in Joey Diggs Jr. Say Something on YouTube. It's probably some numbers and shit.
Oh, man.
Profile 697748.
right. Never even set up the custom
Dang
name.
it! Like your YouTube looks all cool. Like your YouTube looks like a website.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, oh, what's this? I was like, what is this? I was like, oh, this is YouTube. I was like, oh, okay. Shit.
Thank you, man. No, I appreciate that.
You're like, your YouTube looks like when we used to customize our MySpace pages back in the day. I'm like, oh, you got the codes.
Hey, that's an honor, man, because people went in on those MySpace pages.
Bro, we were coders.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had no idea.
For people who don't know, shout out to MySpace. The OG.
OG of all this.
All right, cool. So now we got our setup here. Got that spillage block happening. Cool. We're still getting a little bit of the blue, so I'm gonna try and, because I think I might need a clip for this one. So yeah, and this is all again too, just as far as like the process of, you know what you want, and it's like I can look at this, right? I can see where we're at, and I'm like, I can fix that in post. You know, I think I might be able to do that. And there's a chance where I bring it in and I can do it and it's fine, or I bring it in and I'm like, crap.
They
I
no
should've
fixing
fixed
this.
it
Yeah.
fix it on set. So again, just knowing what you want and just working until you get it.
And what you're capable of.
Right. Yeah. Here.
As you can tell by this walkthrough, lighting is damn near more than 50% of your whole situation when it comes to shooting.
Exactly, and that was going to be my next point that I wanted to bring up, because a lot of, especially like indie, like videographers and stuff, lighting scares them. Mm-hmm. And I say that because lighting scared me. I'm still scared of lighting because I'm not a professional cinematographer or anything like that. Like, I know how things should look and I know what I want visually, but to actually like go out and like accomplish it like myself, I'm just like, bro, how? And so that's just how I've always been and how I viewed it for the longest time.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. No, it's all right. It's part of the clip.
Yep.
This one actually might be too long. I might need to switch it for a shorter one. I'm gonna do that. I kind of looked at it this way. I finally took the plunge and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start shooting things like that require creative lighting to kind of force me to figure out how to do things. And I kind of looked at it, it was like, it's the same way as using a camera for the first time. It's like, I didn't know how to use a camera, but I was like, I'm just gonna shoot. I don't know what every setting means. I'm just gonna use this until I get the look that I want. And then I'll take it from there.
How old were you when you were at that moment? When you
At that
the
moment?
camera? Yeah.
I would say like when I wanted to do it professionally, it was after I graduated college. I think I was really serious about it. I'm just gonna rip this up. So I was about, because I graduated college late. I would say like 25.
25?
Like I always like used cameras and I always had a camera in my hand, but I would say probably like when I really wanted to like figure things out, I was about like 25. Where I was like, all right, let me stop playing around and get this. Because like I always just looked at the camera and I was just like, it's too much, it's too much.
I know what I want to do, but that part?
Right, like I can't do that. Like I'm not a cinematographer. Like,
ISO.
I don't know all these things, and I just always felt like I wasn't capable of learning it. I guess that was the best way to kind of put it for me. Bring this back.
I guess that's like with everything too. Like everybody.
Yeah, right.
People need to realize everybody starts off like that.
Exactly. So that was my big thing. So then when it got to the point where I was like, you know what, just screw it. Let me just figure this out. That's when I started actually getting good with the camera. And then slowly but surely, you figure out the settings, right? Because you shoot something, and then it doesn't work, and you figure out why it didn't work, and then you get better. But for whatever reason, that didn't carry over with lighting for me for the longest, where I just saw lighting, and I was like, okay, I don't know. It's a whole science. And
Things are
like,
just on.
It's just like, especially when you're on like a film set, and you see everybody involved in like getting the look right of a scene. I'm just like, okay. I can't do that.
What did he change?
I'll figure out the camera. I got the camera. I'm just gonna work with natural light, right? So most videographers you'll meet, they're like, yeah, I prefer natural light. Well, they prefer it because they don't want to be touching real light.
Sure, they want the hassle.
And I was the exact same way, So it literally, not too long ago, where I was just like, look, let me just figure this out, because I realized my work was kind of getting stagnant. Like it was getting to the point where, like, camera-wise, everything was still cool, but the look of it was all starting to look the same because
same movie or same.
When you're using natural light, you're shooting in the sun, or like you're shooting at night, but then like your night shots are kind of dull. That kind of just all looks the same. So I kind of felt like I hit a wall.
It's a formula itself.
Right, and so I was kind of like, what do I need to do to take this to the next level? And literally, I was like, all right, I got to figure out how to light. Okay, cool, fine, dang it.
You did that. Well, you did that.
And I'm still learning, and I'm somebody where I'll try and learn as much as I can about a particular thing, but still like know that I don't need to know everything about something, right? Like I don't need to know all the technical aspects of lighting unless I'm like trying to be a cinematographer. And me, I'm not trying, like cinematography is not like my main thing. That's just a part of me that I like to do, but that's not like my
Main go-to.
main thing. So for me, like I learn enough to where I can achieve the looks that I want
For your storytelling.
for my storytelling purposes, and then once I get to that point where I'm making those Marvel
M's.
level movies, then you have your own cinematography, you got your whole
Yeah, you have a
production, you got all that
ecosystem.
stuff. So for people who might be scared, if you're watching this and you might be scared of lighting, I would just say, just do it. Just turn on some lights, figure it out. It's gonna suck. It's gonna look horrible, and you might not even do everything right. For me, like I already know there's probably somebody who is great at lighting, looking at what I'm doing. They're like, "Yo, what? No,
Diffuser.
what? That's not how that works." But at the end of the day, I got the look I wanted in the end, so I'm happy with it.
True.
And again, if that is somebody, like, feel free in the comments.
Yeah, feel free in the comments.
To
Say
give me
something.
some tips to help, because like I'm all about learning. I'm not, some people don't like to, reveal that they don't know stuff.
True, but still put your address
at me, bro.
at me, bro.
At me. Let me check some of these comments real cool. We got Miguel in here.
Young
What
Migs.
up, man? Very awesome video shoot. What up? Oh, we got Bianca, my wife. Hey, always supporting. I appreciate it. Love it, love it. Awesome. Cool. All right, so we got our lights set up, right? So everything is how we want it to look, more or less. This one's still bothering me a little bit, but no, that's good. That's fine. And actually,
And if I need to step up or step back too.
I would say, come step up real quick. Okay. So this is kind of like, this is our main, this was kind of like our main shot. So in the music video, this is like our main angle I think we use the most.
Keep going, keep going.
And so we have that perfect split. Actually, look straight again. Just want to make sure. Yeah, so we got that nice split. So I really wanted to set it where it splits right down the middle of his nose.
As you can see.
And yeah, exactly. We got that nice split. And we got the backlight, that red, that nice backlight. So that gives us separation from the background. So this doesn't even apply just to these black backgrounds, but if you're in like interview settings and all that stuff, you want to kind of help create that separation between, and not just interviews, but filming in general, but it really helps in interviews. You want to create a little bit more separation between your subject and the background. Throwing in a backlight really helps with that. So obviously with this, since our backdrop is black, it really, really helps with that. And the fact that it's red, it really gives that nice contrast. So now that we got this going and we got this all set up, now say you guys are trying to do the same thing and you got your setup wherever. Another important thing to keep in mind is to help with getting that black infinite look is, now that we kind of reduce the spill and everything, you also want to make sure your subject isn't too close to the backdrop. So Joe, if you step back for me.
My back?
Yeah, your back. So he's like he's pretty close to the back, to the backdrop, to the backdrop, right? And so him being back there, I would now have to adjust my lights, right? To where he's at. But if I did that, then we're increasing the chance that we're gonna get more spill and all that stuff because he's right up on the background. So what really helps is having more of that separation by having him come up, and honestly, like you probably can come up a little bit more. I think. Perfect. So if we did that, let me see. Actually, you could take a step because I think that's where you were when we actually shot. And then I would just pull this light back. Whoopsies. Just a tad. Let me see. Is this still in frame?
Just a tad bit. Top corner.
Just a little bit. There we go. We good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. All right. So now we have this, and I wish I would have put my other LUT in the camera. And when I'm saying LUT, I mean it's like it kind of gives us a more realistic look at what we want while we're shooting in camera. Otherwise, no, that's not it. You guys see that? All right, cool. Yeah, you can see that. So this is it without a look built into the camera, so it's very flat. And the reason why you want to do this is kind of helps in color correction. So I have a little bit more control in post as far as bringing, like really crushing the blacks in this instance, really controlling the lights, all that stuff, which is really nice. But this camera, you can put on, you know, a sauce. Yeah, you put some sauce in the camera so you at least get an idea of what your final look is going to be. Unfortunately, this one's not as extreme as I would have liked, because obviously you can still see the background and all that stuff. So really all that would then go away in post. But, you know, use your imaginations. But this is how we kind of have it and we kind of want. So I wonder, can you see this too? If I change the, oh, no, you can't. All right, so I'm gonna bring the camera around, oopsies, so you can see what I'm doing here just a little bit. I don't want to go into too much detail as far as like camera work because every camera is different, but just so you guys get an idea of what I was doing. So here we go. So yeah, so we have the camera here, and so we have our settings that you can see. I'm just gonna click on this to see what this camera's even set at. So it's set to 5.7K. I don't even know why, but let's say, all right, we did 6K, right? So we want to shoot in 6K. This camera shoots in 6K. We're shooting in what's called Blackmagic Raw. Gives us a better image, but also still keeping the file sizes pretty small, which is really nice. And let's see. What do we want? What do we want? Oh, we can get out of there. And I got this set to 23.98, so 24 frames is what I'm shooting at. We didn't do any slow-mo in this. So I just did that. I got my shutter at 1/50th, iris at 1.8, and ISO at 800. So, oops, did I zoom out a little bit? Yes, I did. There we go. So yeah, so now everything kind of looks nice, but I just want to double check, right? So now I'm using this is called false colors, right? So this kind of helps you with figuring out exposure a little bit. That gives you a little bit more detail than looking down here. This is called a histogram, and you can kind of gauge how much exposure your camera is taking in. So the fact that it's all the way to the left, you know, is a little bit scary because you're like, okay, this is going to be way underexposed. But if I turn on false colors here, I can kind of see that I'm where I need to be as far as light on his skin. So the skin tones are doing pretty well. On his jacket, you can kind of see that. So you see how it's kind of grayish and then green and kind of like a pinkish color. And each camera portrays the colors a little bit differently for false colors. So don't just be set on what you see here. But for this camera, this is kind of a gauge. This is a good starting point to see that, like, even though everything's like really dark as far as how Joey is lit, we're looking good. Like this is a good spot. And so I know, even though this is all the way to the left, I see this, that can look scary. I know that I'm actually properly exposed for what I want to shoot. And since Joey's really the only thing that's going to be here, that's all we want to really see. And with those lights and stuff. So just to kind of give you guys a quick rundown on that, that probably, if you guys don't understand, you're probably like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But just to kind of give you guys an idea of like what I'm thinking about once, you know, while I'm lighting and before we're ready to shoot. So
yeah, this is all before you even press record.
Yeah, this is all before we even press record. So just to give you guys an idea of that, of like all the things that can kind of go on in your mind while you're prepping for a shoot. So you know, it's not just something where we're like, all right, let's just jump in, let's just hit record, let's do this. You know, and you know, you might have a camera that has like automatic exposure and things like that. And you know, there are times where auto exposure is all you really need, those automatic settings. But since we're trying to go for a very specific creative look, auto exposure is not going to cut it here. So these are all the things you want to take into account while you're doing this. And again, this is just particularly for this type of shoot with the backdrop that we have. And obviously it'll be different if you're going for, you know, a different look. And now our subject is gone.
Let's put on some chapstick.
Nice. But yeah, so really now this is how we want, this is pretty much what we want, right? This is what we worked for. I know, especially since I already shot it, I know what we're able to do now in post to get it right and get what we want. So this is where I'd be like, all right, cool, you ready to do a take?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So then I would say, all right, Joey, I'm using all my phones to live stream, so can you use your phone to play the song and hook it up to the speakers?
And just for any artists out there, if you're watching and you're on this side of the camera, it's always good to actually sing or speak the piece or song that you're recording, because it's that much more believable.
Ooh, that's
At that
actually,
point.
that's a really good point. Because
Yes.
that comes off. You can tell if someone's just mouthing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The energy's not there and
It
just
ain't
things
there.
don't match up. So if you're someone who shot music videos for artists and you're wondering why it's like not giving that life and energy that you need
Tell your
Yeah.
clients to your artists to sing.
to step it up.
Even if it don't sound, even if they can't sing how it was on the thing, they gotta say something.
Exactly. Actually,
They gotta
before
what?
You gotta say something. Oh, you gotta find ways to plug your song
You feel me?
in everyday life. I also wanted to show this too. Speaking of the artist, if you're able to do this, not everyone's gonna be able to do this, but I do have a monitor set up for him right here, so he can see himself. So he knows what he looks like. Or else, if not, then I can tell him how he's looking and all that stuff. And then he'll just have to trust me. So I can be like, oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. He'd be looking like a fool, But now he knows, like, oh, I look pretty.
Oh, that's cool.
This is
Oh.
great. So this is just something to keep in mind if you're able to set up a monitor for your talent, whether it's a music video, whether it's a film. Well, for films, you wouldn't be doing it for the actors, but like you'd have what they call video village. So like if you're the director, if you have your producers with you, whoever are around who want to be aware of what the image is going to look like on screen. It's always good to have some type of monitor for others if you can. Just for you, it helps, right?
And for yourself, yeah. And for yourself, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So just something else. Otherwise, also too, it helps with playback. So if we're doing something, I'm like, oh, that was dope. Let me show you. I don't have to like turn the camera around. I can
And
just cue it
everybody
up.
crowd around.
Right, exactly.
That's the worst.
So I can just cue it up and he can see it right there. So, all right, let's cue up this song.
Boom, I'm ready. You ready?
Let's do it.
So you play the song just like this. Oh, she said, excuse me, mister. Can I ask you a question?
Hook those up to the
Yeah.
speakers.
Hook them up to the speakers?
Yeah.
All right, I couldn't find it.
Oh, you could.
It did show up nowhere.
It did show
Oh, there
up?
it is. Roll
There
spot.
we go.
Unable to connect?
Oh, it can't connect?
Mm.
Ah, see? It's always something.
They don't care. I mean,
That's all right.
yeah,
Okay. No, it's all right. I mean, yeah, they can hear it.
they can hear.
They can hear it.
And then we don't even have to do that no more. That's a sample.
That's a sample. Yeah, that's true. I was just going to show like that.
Oh, yeah, you can do
Because
it.
then I messed up because I didn't even hit record.
Boom.
So
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. So now I'll be like, all right, cool. You ready to go for a take?
Ready.
All right, cool. Then I'm like, all right, let's go. And I don't have a card in here, but if I did have a card in here, I would say, all right, camera's rolling. Cue
Sorry, I
song.
wasn't paying much attention, but oh. Hold up, let me get my focus over.
And I'll be like, that was great. Cut. That's all
Man,
we
I didn't
need.
like that, man. My hair was in my face.
No, we're using it.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm the director. I know it looks good. You look great. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, if also too, if your artist is like, I didn't feel comfortable with that take, even if the take looked great,
Make him feel comfortable.
sometimes humor and be like, all right, let's get one more, because you might get a better take, in that next one.
It might be hot.
It might be hot. So now we got our first take. We're good. We're locked. So pretty much what we did, how I had this set up, and the angles that I knew I wanted to do. So I'll pop those up again real quick. These were not just samples for lighting, but also for sample angles that I wanted to get, that I used in this program. I knew I wanted that kind of waist up, that far view, which looks really nice. It just really looks like he's in the middle of a void. And then a profile, and then kind of like a higher angle there with his body like slightly turned. And I did, other than the frontal views, I did one where profile was facing the purple light, and then another one that was facing the blue light. So then we can kind of mix and match. And so if you've seen the video, you'll see that I even was able to kind of duplicate him, turn him around, so we kind of get, it looks like there's two of them there, and one's pink, one's blue, all that stuff. Kind of, you know, just kind of something to keep in mind. So that having that pre-visualization beforehand can help with your lighting and with the angles that you want. Again, which is, I think, what helped us speed up the process when it was time. So pretty much we go through that. I get all this angle, I get all the ones that I want. And with this song in particular, it's all vocals, right? Mm-hmm. He's singing like 40 different parts all at the same time. So in my head, I'm hearing this song and I'm like, okay, we could just do like a couple angles, and you know, that could have worked, you know, for social media, Instagram, and it just could have been like this cool visual thing. But I knew what would kind of help sell it even more, because it's so like just all about his voice, to accompany those angles that I'm shooting with all these like little side, what would you call them?
Backgrounds.
Backgrounds?
Yeah, the background vocals.
Background ad-libs.
Ad-libs. It was a whole bunch of shit.
So much. So I'm like, okay, let's utilize different angles to accentuate all the different things that he's singing all at once.
All the surrounding voices.
Exactly. And so, and we were able to play with that black void and duplicate him so it looked like he was singing two parts at the same time, which was really cool. So now, again, knowing that in my head, I was like, so it wasn't just those 4 angles that you saw. Those were the main angles I knew I wanted to do. And then all the other ones, I also kind of planned out, but then some I kind of just freestyled in the moment. So there's a shot, kind of how the music video starts, and I'll show you. Throw that up there. Literally like that split close up of his face. That right there, I decided
Heat.
in that moment, I was like, yo, that actually would be really dope. Well, not actually in that moment. I realized I wanted to do it after our test shoot. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking like, oh, it'd be really dope if we got some type of like super extreme close-up that was like a split. So it's like one side's blue, one side's pink, and then we could have like text or something.
Genius.
Come into play. So I think that worked really well.
Very well.
For when we shot. So it's just, you know, it's playing off of being prepared and then also being open to new ideas that come through. Because I think the more prepared you are, the more room there is to freestyle, versus like if you're trying to figure it out as you go. Mm-hmm. If I was just here like,
ain't no freestyle.
Hold on.
You ain't get no extra.
Okay. Maybe, yeah, let's go with that. You know, so it's like you're spending more time trying to figure out what angle you want. So you're not giving your kind of like the creative side of your brain an opportunity to work at its highest level. So I knew what I wanted, so we did this, and so now since I set up everything the way that I wanted, I pre-planned how the angles were going to work, I could just be like, hey Joey, turn to your left, and then bam, so now we got that profile shot, right? And now I could just zoom in, do a little bit more, yeah, so it's like straight on, yep, there we go. And so now I can do that, and then we can hit record, get that shot, and then we're like, all right, Joey, go the other way. Bam. So now we got that. And then once I think those were kind of like the main ones that were like in this setup. And then for the wide one, you know, I just moved the camera back. What I actually had to do, because I couldn't get far enough for where this would work. So what I actually did was, I'm doing this while it's on the tripod. So I literally, make sure I don't break nothing. Mm-hmm. I literally went into portrait sideways like that. So I shot him like that. And then again, once I like decreased the blackness like so much, you know, essentially like what you would do with the green screen, I was able to isolate him and zoom him out even more so it looked like he was still in a 16:9 frame.
I didn't even think about that. Even though I saw it, I didn't even think that's how you did it.
Yeah, and you know, if we were in a situation where like we were in a studio where the whole wall was black, we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But again, too, so it's like even if you didn't have these 3 backdrops and you just had one down the middle, that's another way you can get that effect. Turn the camera on its side, record that way, and then once you, you know, fix everything in post, well, not fix everything, but when you actually like color and make it look how you want, you can actually adjust how you like where you can adjust the placement of the artist and where you want them to be. So that's how we pulled that off for the wide shot. And then from there, then it was just about taking the camera and just placing it in different spots, you know, and I'll just, just for fun, I'll unplug it from the power. I don't know if the cable's long enough, but I'll just do this real quick. Just so I can get an idea. So then I could do this and then kind of just, I would raise it and then be like, yeah, face that way. So not full profile, but then you could do this.
So I wasn't paying much attention, but
Yeah, there we go. Then we get that high angle there,
but
like that. And then I can move to the other side and then I can kind of play around. And then I can be like, Joey, come a little bit closer to the camera and look straight. And then let me zoom in here. You know, and then I can,
something.
you know, then I can do this. And then that's how I can get those like profile shots. That, and then I can move to the other side.
Smart.
And get it like that. So we were able to get all those different angles, very minor lighting changes, which really helps because that's another situation where if you're doing a shoot, if you introduce lighting, there are chances where you're going to have to move lights. So that's why also another reason why people might not want to mess with it, because it makes shoots a lot longer, you know, especially if, you know, you're not sure exactly what you're doing and trying to figure
Or
it out.
what you want, yeah.
You know, so that process can take longer versus like just taking your camera and just shooting with the light that's there. But thankfully for this type of setup, and the way everything was set up, we were pretty much good to go with all the angles that I wanted to do. And it was just a matter of like moving the lights like just a little bit. And that's why we were able to do this in like 2 hours. But yeah, and that's literally how we shot the music video. Kind of step-by-step guide. Hopefully, you know, this helped, gave you guys some ideas, because not just to get this particular look or to recreate this look, but, you know, just to kind of give you guys an idea of something that you thought about shooting but weren't really sure how to, or you felt like you needed to rent a studio to do it, you know, or you might not have the right tools. You know, so you could do creative projects just like this that look professional, looks like you put a lot of money into it, and just using either your garage, your bedroom, you know, some type of backdrop. It doesn't have to be black. It could be white. It could be gray. It could be yellow. Again, try and introduce lighting. You know, you don't need $1,000 light to do this. You could use a $70 light. You can use your phone's light, you know, whatever works for you. But first thing is just figure out what you want to accomplish. And just like how I did, find references, find people who've already done something similar, and then take from that. And that helps a lot. Trust me, it really helps getting those references. Take from that and then figure out how you can accomplish that with what you have. You know, again, if you don't have the budget to pay somebody or whatever, or like right now, I know things are starting to open up a little bit more, which is great.
A little bit.
You know, but still, we don't know how long it's going to take until everything's like back. So if you're still, yeah, so you're still a little uncomfortable being around too many people, but you still want to be creative. These are some tips that I think could help. So again, you know, don't be afraid to play around with stuff, try stuff, even if you've never done it before. Just go out and do it, experiment. And honestly, what better way to experiment than on yourself, or like find a friend and just play around.
He found me on Fiverr.
Yeah, he said he could
I can sing.
I could record him for $5. And then when I purchased the services, he said actually it's going to be $300.
$350.
Yeah, Fiverr. We know how you work. So yeah, well, let me just check the comments and see if anybody's got anything to go. Oh, hey, Thomas, what up, man? I see you. What up, man? Oh, Bianca says, you're switching so many screens seamlessly. Switcher Studio is dope. Actually, yes, it is really dope. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. So just kind of like tie everything back together too, because I just really want to stress and just say thank you so much to Switcher Studio for helping make this happen, for allowing us to share, you know, our creativeness. What, you know, just it's
our creative
I feel like
abilities.
it's us playing around,
For
you
sure.
know, but you know, it's also, you know, being creative and just trying to like put out the best content that we have. So thank you to Switcher for allowing us to do that. And again, you guys can use my promo code. I put it in the description. Click on that. You can get a month free. Full-on switcher, a live streamer. You can live stream to YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all those platforms seamlessly from your iPad, from your phone. You can use your phones as cameras. Because literally, I could, I know I'm using mine, but I could have been like, hey, Joey, let me use your camera real quick. Let me use your phone real quick. I need one more angle. He downloads the app, and we're synced like that. Mm-hmm. It's like that easy, man. So you can be in a room with a bunch of people who all have, because everybody's got a phone pretty much. You can be like, hey, yo, let's set up, because I think you can be up to 9 cameras. Hey, let's set up 9 cameras. Now we got this crazy multicam setup. So also great if you're a live performer.
Yeah, I was thinking that right now. I was like,
this is great, and the tools are super easy to use. You have this whole setup here. We got the 3 camera setup. You can see all that all at the same time. If you want to go the extra mile, it also works. You can link up your computer, so any webcam that you have. So that's how I have my Blackmagic set up. I have it set up as a webcam, and I was able to bring that in to mix and match. So again, thank you guys so much. Thank you everybody at Switcher. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys are interested to check out Switcher, definitely hit that link, that promo code. Again, use my name, Royce, R-O-Y-C-E, when you do it. And yeah, man, and you got anything else for people to know?
We out.
We out.